Good morning, everyone. I'm Mary Sandy, Director of the Virginia Space Grant Consortium, and it's a real pleasure to welcome all of you today to the closing ceremony for our first Summer Academy for the Virginia Earth System Science Scholars Program. Since NASA Langley is again closed for programs this summer because of the pandemic, we're very pleased that we've been able to offer the VEST Summer Academy as a virtual experience with the wonderful support of Old Dominion University's Office of Distance Learning and the great resourcefulness of our VSGC staff. They've been working very hard to make this experience as close to the on-site experience as possible. We have a number of special guests with us today, and I'd like to recognize them at this time. From the Office of the Governor, Deputy Secretary of Education Fran Bradford, who will be offering remarks later in the program. We also have Delegate Betsy Carr of Virginia's 69th District, who will also be speaking a bit later in the program, and Delegate Amanda Batten, representing Virginia's 96th District. Elizabeth Hardin, District Representative for Congressman Donald McEachin, is also with us today. And David Pierce, Director of NASA's Wallops Flight Facility, and a very key educational program partner for us. From NASA Langley, my co-host today for this ceremony is Kevin Rivers, Associate Director Technical for the Center. And we also have from Langley, Stan Smeltzer, Deputy Director of Safety and Mission Assurance Office. And Stan spoke with our scholars earlier this week and shared his career journey. Rosemary Bays, Deputy Director of the Science Directorate, is also with us, and she's a big partner for our program. Rosemary's also been engaged with the students this week, and she's going to be speaking a bit later in the program. Donna Lawson, Legislative Affairs Officer, and her Legislative Affairs intern, Cameron Lockery, are with us today and are also great partners in the program. Cameron is a past participant in our Virginia Aerospace Science and Technology Scholars Program. So it's been great to have her interact with the students this week. From industry, we have Abigail Davidson, CEO of Ibios, Kim Reed, Office Program Manager for the Virginia Commercial Spaceflight Authority, and Laura Blumberg, Senior Program Director from SAIC. From academia, we have Bill Moore, Professor from the Department of Atmospheric and Planetary Sciences at Hampton University. Bill has been a mentor and major contributor to the VEST program since its inception. And Khan Iftek Harudin, Professor and Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Studies, in Old Dominion University's Batten College of Engineering and Technology, is also with us today. So we're honored to have all of you join us. The Virginia Earth System Science Scholars Program has taken these students through an in-depth learning experience based on the awe-inspiring work of NASA. 43 students are participating in this first of two summer academies. Our scholars first undertook an online course from December to May to learn about the Earth as a system of systems. Their performance in the course earned them a slot at this week's academy, where they worked with NASA, academic, and industry mentors to plan a mission to study critical issues identified by the National Academies in its decadal survey. You'll be hearing later from the scholars about the Summer Academy component and the missions that they have designed and defended to professionals and a mission review panel. Students are receiving 5 college credits for their participation in the program. Primary funding to support this program comes from the Commonwealth of Virginia, with significant in-kind support from NASA Langley and contributions from the Virginia Aerospace Business Association, the National Institute of Aerospace, and the Society of American Military Engineers. This is our 6th year of offering the VEST program, and our scholars consistently tell us what a difference this program makes for them in their personal and academic growth, as well as in helping to shape their career pathways. It's been a real pleasure to work with NASA Langley's Science Mission Directorate on this project. And I can't say enough about the academic, industry, and NASA mentors who so generously donate their time to work with our scholars, including faculty from Hampton University. Scholars also greatly benefit from engaging with our master teachers and the help of our student interns who are former VEST scholars, and they're going to be recognized later in the program. The Virginia Space Grant Consortium is committed to enhancing STEM teaching and learning and to encouraging students to pursue studies and careers in these fields. We believe that this kind of real-world applied learning is just the best kind of learning experience. And they've gotten to interact this week, our scholars have, with highly motivated NASA personnel. And that's just an amazing experience in and of itself. We're committed to engaging students from throughout the Commonwealth in our programs, including students from areas that don't generally have access to these kinds of programs. And that's one reason why all participant costs are covered for VEST and for all VSGC programs. We'll be tracking our scholars over the next few years to learn about their college and career choices and to offer information on future opportunities through NASA and through the Virginia Space Grant Consortium. So it's really important that the scholars stay in touch with us. The VEST experience also can open doors for these students to participate in other NASA and consortium programs. If scholars will be seniors next year, they may wish to participate in our similarly modeled program, the Virginia Aerospace Science and Technology Scholars Program that we do in partnership with NASA Langley, or our Pathways Flight Academies program, which provides flight training for students who are interested in becoming commercial pilots. And the Virginia Space Grant Consortium has many other opportunities for the scholars. Scholarships, fellowships, industry internships, and student flight and design projects. So take a look at all the opportunities available to you, and I think you've heard a bit about those this week. So we can help you with your next steps here in Virginia. If you go to one of the Virginia Space Grant Consortium colleges, UVA, Virginia Tech, William & Mary, ODU, or Hampton University, or Virginia Community College. But if you go to college in another state, we can also help you connect with the space grant program in that state so you can learn about similar kinds of opportunities there. So the success of VEST is a team effort, and I would like to recognize my staff for their outstanding work. Rudo Kashiri, if you can put your camera on Rudo, is our education programs manager. Joyce Career is the VEST program coordinator. And Priscilla Hill provides all the administrative and logistical support for the program. Ryan Carter is our media specialist, and he has documented the students' experience this week in a special video, and you'll be seeing that later in the program. And I want to thank all the parents who contributed photos of their students at work that we could include in the video. So it's now my pleasure to introduce Delegate Betsy Carr. Delegate Carr was instrumental in securing state funding to allow us to continue this program as our funding had ended last year and we were not going to be able to continue it. So we're very, very grateful to Delegate Carr for her support of VEST and VSGC programs in general. And she has congratulatory remarks for our scholars. Delegate Carr.
Thank you so much. It's so exciting to be here and this culmination of the scholars' work. I'm so proud of our scholars and the tremendous work they have done in this crucial area. Congratulations to each one of you, and I wish you the best. I know you will be taking this to new heights, your experience in life and how you have learned these very important things that makes you really up on the edge of this kind of information. It's so important in our world today. Thank you for taking advantage of this wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Thank you, Mary Sandy, for pulling together this program and for continuing to have it and offering this wonderful opportunities for these children. So delighted to see that it's here, not children, students. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here today, and I really appreciate all that you do. And again, congratulations to our wonderful, wonderful students.
Here today. This program would not be possible without the strong engagement by and support of NASA Langley Research Center. We're honored to have with us today Kevin Rivers, whom I introduced earlier, but I will say again is the Associate Center Director, Technical for NASA Langley Research Center, and he's going to bring welcome and remarks on behalf of the center.
So good morning, Mary, and hello, everyone, and it's a great honor to be with you. On behalf of our Center Director, Clayton Turner, and everyone at the Langley Research Center, I'd like to thank you for participating in today's event. To our distinguished and special guests, we appreciate your tuning in and participating with us today. We've come together to recognize and applaud some impressive achievements by some impressive students. VEST scholars, congratulations. I know you've had a busy and successful week of scientific investigation. You've looked at the Earth as a system of systems, and you've considered the dynamic interplay between all of those systems. You've all worked in teams, in spite of the virtuality of how we're doing that, to design interrelated Earth observation satellite missions that study the atmosphere, the biosphere, the hydrosphere, the lithosphere, and how they are interconnected. You've also learned about how NASA, industry, and academic scientists and engineers and technologists all work together to make these missions possible. And you've learned the vital role that budget experts, planners, and communicators play in this complex enterprise. I hope you've all found this to be rewarding and very eye-opening. And I would say, by all accounts, you've met the challenge and you've done it well. And so let's just take a moment to virtually applaud our participants. I love all those virtual claps. Thank you so much. I'd also like to recognize another very important group of people, the family and friends who've encouraged and supported our scholars. We all owe them a debt of gratitude and our thanks. Without their help, VEST would not be the robust program that we see today. As our scholars have come to know, Langley has a rich history of innovation in science, aeronautics, and space technology. Today, we look to the future with the same sense of excitement and energy that animated the work of many Langley legends, including Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, Mary Jackson, Max Muck, Dick Whitcomb, and Pat McCormick. Add to that list Christine Darden, who I understand that many of our scholars were able to spend some time with this week. NASA research is helping the world to understand and address the cause of climate change. We're gathering the facts and insights that our policymakers need and will use to make decisions and set a course for a thriving future. And NASA is preparing for the first woman and the first person of color to set foot on the moon. NASA will go to the moon as never before, with new tools and systems that allow us to thoroughly explore the lunar surface, and this time we're going to stay. We'll use what we learn on the moon for our next giant leap, which is sending American astronauts to Mars. The recent successes of the Perseverance rover and Ingenuity helicopter on Mars are just a prelude to this new era of exploration. And Langley will once again play a vital role in the new era by creating and testing concepts, materials, technologies, and all the things that are necessary to pioneer that mission in space. And at the same time, our Langley researchers work to transform aviation and usher in a new era of sustainable flight in America and around the world. So I'd like to briefly take a closer look at how Langley moves NASA missions forward with bold ideas and innovative hardware. So if we could advance the charts. If you're unfamiliar with Langley, this is an aerial photo of our campus. Next chart. At Langley, we perform roles in all of NASA's missions. NASA, if you're unfamiliar, is organized around science, space exploration, and space technology and aeronautics, and we work in all of those areas. We're also very actively involved in transforming our capabilities to be ready for the future and engaging with students like yourselves to create the next generation of explorers. In science, our focus is on atmospheric sciences, understanding the Earth's atmosphere, developing instruments to do that, making measurements, and then understanding and processing the data that we gather. Next chart. In space exploration, we're developing the technologies that are going to enable NASA and the nation to reach deep into space. We build flight test articles, we fly experiments, and we do very important testing to develop systems for that exploration effort. Next chart. I'd like to say, when you fly on an airplane, we are with you. We fly with you. We're looking at being able to fly everywhere. We're optimizing commercial transport. We're developing new technologies to mobilize our population and enable things like urban taxis. And we're trailblazing new technologies like distributed electric propulsion. Next chart. And then finally, we are constantly reinventing ourselves. You may have learned a little bit about this characteristic of NASA Langley this week, but we're constantly looking at who we are and what we need to be. And so we're revolutionizing the way we work. In the future, we expect to be much more connected with our partners. We believe that the new technologies that are available to us are going to accelerate our ability to solve challenging scientific problems in the future, and we want to be ready to do that. Next chart. And then finally, STEM engagement. We want you to explore with us. We want to make sure that we do things that engage you guys as students. We want to help in educating you and to prepare you for the future. And we hope that the work that we do day in and day out inspires you to join us. Next chart. I can't leave without saying we do the amazing things that we do at NASA because of our amazing people. And we hope that one day some of you might be part of that team. So I want to acknowledge the great people at NASA Langley that help us to complete and accomplish our missions. And we do this for a reason. And our vision is here. Our vision is that one day we'll see preschool students stepping off to their first day at school on Mars. And I think I have a video that I would like to play. And turn it back over to you. So I hope that video inspires you guys and excites you about NASA, its mission, and how Langley's involved in it. And let me just say to the VEST scholars, great job on your week of scientific discovery with NASA Langley. I can tell this was a challenging and rewarding week. I look forward to hearing your presentations this morning. So again, congratulations. I would like to remind you that the virtual work you did this week very much mirrors the way we're working at Langley right now. And I also hope that we can witness the value of diverse perspectives, experience, diverse backgrounds. Here at Langley, we know that inclusion fuels innovation, and we depend on fresh thinking that can only come from a diverse team that's multifaceted. Now, as VEST graduates, you should consider yourselves part of our Langley family. Thank you for being a part of our journey, and we hope wherever your career takes you, that you do great things and difficult things. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kevin. And I'd now like to turn the program over to our Education Programs Manager, Rudo Kashiri, and the VEST Program Coordinator, Joyce Career.
Thank you so much, Mary. And Kevin, you do have a large family now. This group is talented, and I'd like to say NASA is in good hands. First of all, I want to say good morning, our special guests, parents, families, and friends, our master teachers, interns, and not forgetting our scholars. We had a great week this week, and you're going to hear a lot about what happened this week. And I also want to thank the Office of Distance Learning from ODU. Last year was our first virtual program, and we had no idea what we were doing. They were there to assist us and help us. And this year, they even improved our WebEx. We now have emojis where we can communicate and share thoughts and feelings with each other. So we really appreciate your assistance. Christian and Scott, we had two academies going on at the same time. I can't remember which one, Christian, you did and which one, Scott, you did. So I'm just going to thank you both in this one. So we did have a great time. And also we want to thank NASA Center Leadership for giving us great people to talk to the students. We started with Monday with this special presenter, and the students were welcomed and they learned a lot about NASA Langley. And then we moved into Tuesday and the rest of the week where we had the tours for NASA Langley. We were trying to mirror as much as possible what the students will see at a residential academy. So we did have people from NASA Langley present to us. We started with the hangar with Dr. Mike Obland showing us his work. And then Dr. Dave Johnson, who works with Climate, Absolute Radiance, and Refractivity Observatory, what we call Clario. And he also presented to the students. And then we also had another tour from Dr. Travis Neff, who works with the Chemistry and Physics Atmospheric Layer Experiment, known as CAPABLE. And also had a chance to talk to students, especially the instruments and stuff they were trying to get on their missions. And then we also heard from Dr. Gugu Rutherford, who was talking about contamination. And students did find out there's a lot of preparation that goes on with instruments before they go into space. And a big part of it involves the clean room. So we want to thank you for providing those because it really helped to show the students what NASA Langley is all about. And then the next thing, I'd like to thank the parents for sending these wonderful students. It was a great week, a great group of students. Also, I want to thank you for the videos that you sent us. They help to complete the story. Usually when we're at our academies, residential academies, we get to see students working. And this time we felt like we were missing the behind the scenes, and some of you provided videos and photos. So you're going to be able to see those videos and photos in the final video that our media specialists worked on. This group is usually a large group of females, as always. And once again, Kevin, you were talking about how you're going to have the first female at NASA on the moon. So we do have a lot of women preparing for that role as well. So we are excited about that. Scholars, y'all did a great job yesterday. The presentations were great. You guys had professional presentations and they were really, really, really amazing. And I know you learned a lot. You also learned how to answer those complex questions. And also you learned a lot of new vocabulary. So hopefully when you guys leave this place, you'll be talking to your friends and wherever you go about the new vocabulary that you picked up this week. You also learned how to work on these large programs and real programs that NASA works on, and also being able to keep up with the budget. This week was challenging for some of you. In your since you guys are already smart, we could not teach you how to be smart this week. But with the academy, our hope was to increase your critical skills, some people call them the soft skills, which is like communication. You all knew there had to be a lot of communication. I think there were times that one night where people stayed up really late trying to make sure they're on the same page, and that happens in real life. And also you learn how to work as a team. Usually when you have a group of smart students coming together, it's usually very hard to get them to to work on a team because usually they are the smartest kids in their class. But this week they did find out that they are on a team with other students as smart as them or even smarter than they are, and they all did a great job of learning how to work as a team. Some teams it took a little longer than others trying to get there, but I can say by Wednesday, everybody was there, and surely Thursday really showed that you guys were working as a team. And also responsibility. Usually at a residential academy, it's on us to make sure that everybody's up. And these academies are designed that you will get fined if you're not there on time. So this week, the students learned that they got to be at the academies in a place on time, and also during meetings, they use the money that they are given each day as a budget, and they can lose that money for not being responsible. And so that was something that they learned this week. You learn how to make critical decisions. You guys were working with real live goals and concepts, and you all learn how to do that. Networking is a big part this week. So what I want you to do is remember all the people you met. You all going to receive a program with the list of everybody that you guys were in touch with this week. So you can go back and check off the ones that you communicated with already, and maybe the ones that you want to get in touch with in the future. So networking is big. Sometimes it's who you know to get you to places that you want to be. And you guys will find that very soon. So we also hope that you learned about new opportunities that you did not know before. You learned about new careers. I don't know how many of you knew that there was a job in contamination, but after this week, some of you realize that. So that's something new. So continue communicating with each other, continue your friendships, continue your communication with your teammates. We also want you to make sure that you come back to our other programs. We do have, if you have not done VAS yet, that is the next program for you, where they design a crewed mission to Mars. So that will be something completely different. And just so you know, you will be looking at different tours than you did this week. So you'll be seeing a whole other side of Langley that you did not experience during the VES Academy. So take us up on that one. And application opens up in August, and you will do an online course just like you did with the other programs. And also we want you to come back as interns. I know we have quite a few of you who are going to college next year, this coming year. Once you get to college, you want to reach out to us, and maybe you might come back and intern with us. And once you go to college, you graduate, you get a job, we still want you to come back as a mentor. You guys saw from this week that there were other students who did the program who are working with you guys to help you. So we want you to come back and do the same thing. So I just want to leave you guys with the famous words from Dr. Darden. You guys learned about the 4 Ps. Perceive yourself in a career, plan what you need to get there, prepare, work your plan. You got to work your plan, know what you want, and then persist. That's always a big lesson this week. Keep on going, don't stop. You never know what one end will lead you. Do not just go with what is comfortable with you. You want to look at some places where you're not comfortable and not familiar. That's the only way that you learn. Okay, another special thanks to a person who makes all this possible, Mary Sandy, our director. First of all, Mary, I just want to thank you for trusting us and running these programs. She tells us what to do and give us a free run to work the program. So thank you for that. And we also thank you for the support. This was not easy during the virtual and trying to get everybody together. The center leadership is all your role, getting all those people to make sure that NASA is well represented. So thank you for that. Thank you to Priscilla Hill assisting the students. Everybody got a shirt. Priscilla was running around to the post office with big boxes. I know the people at the post office know her by now. Thank you for doing that, and also working with the interns, making sure they got their timesheets and everything ready, and also just making sure that the program is running well. Another special thanks to Ian Carthay. I know this wasn't your week, but I thank you for jumping in and helping out, assisting with your knowledge with computers. And next is Joyce Carriero, who is the coordinator of the program. Joyce is the one that plans the program. Thank you so much, Joyce, for planning it and running the program. And most of all, getting the right people in the right positions to help the students. I know you reached out to a lot of people. We were communicating with people in Arizona, NASA headquarters, Hampton University, and all over the state. So thank you so much for getting all that done. Now, next, also I want to thank a media specialist. He's not here today, but you're going to see his work, like Mary said, at the end of the presentation. And one more thing that I forgot. If you missed Thursday's presentation, you are also going to get a clip of that at the end of the Summer Academy. Give us until the end of the summer. when we have all the academies done. We have 8 of these academies to go through. This week I can say 3 done and 5 to go. But you will be getting a video of the presentations if you miss Thursday. And next, what we'll do is Joyce, I am going to call on you so you can introduce your team and we'll see all the wonderful work that you did this week. Joyce.
Hi, I'm Joyce Corrier. I'm the BEST coordinator. And this week, the focus was on your students learning about being part of a team. Well, I'd like you to be introduced to my dream team. These master teachers and interns put in countless hours working with our scholars. And in a few minutes, you'll hear about their satellite missions. So master teachers, please introduce yourselves.
Good afternoon. Good morning, sorry. I am Mary Hing and I worked with Team Atmosphere and my intern was Isabella Drezel.
Good morning. My name is Marta Cintron. I'm the master's teacher for the Biosphere team, and my intern was Jayla Johnson.
Good morning. I am Renita Hayes, and I served as the master teacher for the Hydrosphere team, and my intern was Erin McHugh.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Evan Fiedler. I serve with the Lithosphere team, and my intern is Cassidy Heff.
Thank you all. And interns, I'd like you to introduce yourselves and let them know what your college major is and what university or college you attend, please.
Good morning.
So,
Sorry.
go
Good
ahead, I'm
morning.
sorry.
My name is Cassidy Heft. I worked with Team Lithosphere this week, and I just finished my first year at the University of Oxford studying engineering science.
Hello, I am Brandon K. Hedgepeth, and I was one of the lead interns for this week. I attend Old Dominion University, majoring in communication and media studies, and I just finished my first year of college, and I am actually now in my junior year.
Good morning. My name is Jayla Johnson. I have the pleasure of working with the Biosphere team this week. This has been my first year at VCU or Virginia Commonwealth University as a biomedical engineering student.
Good morning. I am.
Sorry.
Go.
Okay. Okay. Good morning. I'm Isabella Dressel, and I interned with Team Atmosphere. I am a rising second year at the University of Virginia, and I'm double majoring in chemistry and physics.
Good morning. I am Jayana Tolliver. I am the other lead intern. I am a junior at Old Dominion University. I am majoring in cybercriminology and minoring in psychology.
Good morning. I worked with Team Hydrosphere. I'm going on my senior year at Penn State University, and I'm double majoring in math and computer science.
See, we have a very talented group of master teachers and interns that worked with your students. The next thing that was very important in the success of our program was all the mentors that we had. We were very lucky to have mentors from NASA, from the academia world, industry, and the BEST alumni. We had almost 10 BEST alumni show up to work with your students. And that was very instrumental in making it successful, because they were where your student was this year. They were there last year or a few years ago. So they were easy to relate to and understand what your students were going through as they were designing their missions. Okay, so our next slide will be, we're starting with, we're going to start with the Atmosphere team. Project scientists.
Hello and good morning. My name is Vivek Banerjee and I'm the project scientist for the Atmosphere team. This slide lists all of our members on the team. We had Anish as our deputy project scientist, Emma and Alan as our two research scientists, Shaywan and Sri Ram as our two contamination and risk analysts. We had Nason as our calibration and validation scientist, Tyler and Marco as our outreach analysts, Fasaith as our launch and orbit analyst, Nathaniel as our budget analyst, and Olivia as our applied scientist. Next slide. Yep. So this week, the team has been hard at work to propose a new mission called CLAIRS, which stands for Cloud Aerosol Interactions Research Satellite. Our mission sought to evaluate aerosol and aerosol cloud interactions to analyze their impacts on the Earth's radiation budget. This mission goal was derived from section C5 of the 2018 Decadal Survey, which is a collection of key scientific questions established by the National Research Council, NASA, and other government agencies. Importantly, the CLAIRS mission will provide benefits in the domains of science, society, and economy. CLAIRS will benefit science by resolving uncertainties in both the direct and indirect effects aerosols have on cloud formation and ultimately the Earth's radiation budget. When it comes to society, enhanced understanding of cloud aerosol interactions provided by CLAIRS will benefit property owners, the agriculture industry, and the tourism industry by enhancing weather models. Lastly, CLAIRS will provide policymakers with the information needed to control aerosol emissions and promote industrial processes that strive toward a cleaner future. In terms of instruments, CLAIRS will use the Visible Infrared Imaging Radiometer Suite, or VIIRS, and the Clouds and Earth's Radiant Energy System Flight Model 6, also known as Series FM6. VIIRS will be used to measure key aerosol properties such as optical depth, size, and type. On the other hand, Series FM6 will be used to measure cloud properties like albedo, phase, and type, and also the Earth's radiation budget by measuring shortwave and longwave radiation. Next, I would like to direct your attention to the CLAIRS mission patch in the top right. In the patch, the symbol of the Earth is included because the data collected by CLAIRS can have global impacts due to its study of the Earth's radiation budget. In the small circle to the top left, different aerosols are presented, including dust, smoke, black carbon, and sea salts, to indicate that the mission is about cloud aerosol interactions. A satellite is also included in the upper right-hand corner, as it will serve as the mission platform and carry all the instruments needed. The CLAIRS mission partners and their logos are located on the outline of the patch to showcase their support in our mission. Next comes the budget. The pie chart to the bottom right shows the cost breakdown by percent among the many different aspects of the mission, to include propulsion, power, launch, etc. The preliminary individual cost of our mission before savings came out to $749.9 million. This was significantly higher than the allocated budget of $300 million. However, by forming a joint mission with the other Sphere teams and acquiring mission partners Northrop Grumman and the Russian Space Agency, Roscosmos, we were able to bring our individual mission cost down to $296.7 million, which is below our allocated budget and results in a total savings of $453.2 million. Last comes outreach. We'll be reaching out to the public through teacher conferences, social media, radio, television, and traveling exhibits to museums such as the Air and Space Museum. So next slide, please. So with that, we have here a picture of the amazing Atmosphere team. I would just like to say that each and every member of this team has worked so hard putting this mission together, and through struggles and challenges, we persevered. We came out on top, and in the process, really bonded as a team. Additionally, we also had the generous support of our extraordinary master teacher, Dr. Mary Hing, and our intern, Isabella. So to the team, Dr. Hing and Isabella, thank you guys so much. I've had the pleasure of working with you guys as the project scientist, and you guys have made my experience at VESS truly memorable. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Hannah Bentley, and I'm the project scientist for the Biosphere team, which was made up of Dennis as our deputy project scientist, Paxton and Zoe as our research scientists, Nandita as risk and contamination analyst, Izzy for calibration and validation, Ariel as our outreach analyst, Tess for launch and orbit, Jahira for budget, and Linda as our applied scientist. Next slide, please. Our mission looked to research carbon level effect on the Amazon rainforest, which is better known as CLEAR, and our goals were to look at canopy density, photosynthetic rates, and soil moisture. The main stakeholders for this were the Department of Agriculture and the Department of the Interior. However, society as a whole would benefit the most from this data, as the importance is resources such as lumber and medicinal values. Our outreach strategies included apps and social media, as well as internships and grants with partnering universities, as well as a website. Overall, our mission will use the VIIRS and Poseidon 4 instruments, each of those looking at those objectives, as I mentioned before, canopy density, photosynthetic rates, and soil moisture. In the top right, you will see our mission patch, at the top showing the acronym CLEAR, as well as our atomic mass for carbon. The patch also showcases our partners, and further it is showing a magnifying glass looking at carbon and its effect on the rainforest. Our budget overall, we were under budget after going over the costs, which our mission overall cost about $380 million, saving about $916 million. Next slide, please. Here's my lovely team. I just overall want to say thank you to Miss C, who never referred to us as students, but her babies and angels. And also I'd like to say thank you to Jayla for always reminding us to go on break, including lunch. And I'd also like to say thank you to Jayana, our flow turn, for always being there to have fun with us, as well as joke around. And overall, I'd like to say thank you to each individual on my team. I really couldn't have learned what I did this week without each and every one of you. And I can't wait for the fun that we're going to have in the future. And I'm just so appreciative of all of you and the different things that I learned with you. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I am the project scientist from the Hydrosphere team, Althea Noonan. Our team also consisted of Maddie as our deputy project scientist, Melanie and Nilda as our research scientist, Aditi and Ella as our risk and contamination analysts, Kareem for calibration and validation, Saitha as our mission outreach analyst, and Shay as our other mission outreach analyst, as well as Tommy, our launch orbit analyst, Advaith, our budget analyst, and Mohammed as our applied scientist. Our mission is people, or the plastic pollutant on ocean level rise. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing this week. So overall, our mission examines the relationship between ocean plastic pollutants, specifically plastics, and sea ice melt rates to better understand the effect of plastics on the ocean and climate change. Our mission relates to the Decadal Survey Section H-3A, which highlights the importance of observing water quality via remote sensing instruments. Scientists are still largely unaware of the true effects that micro and macroplastics in the ocean have on the ocean, as well as climate change. Furthermore, technology to model and study these plastics using remote sensing is still largely inaccessible. Therefore, our mission aims to address these knowledge gaps by providing a working model of where these plastics are and trying to observe if many hypotheses regarding the nature of plastics and their effects on the ocean do have a relationship. Many scientists hypothesize that as these plastics absorb thermal energy in the ocean, they increase water temperatures and can increase the rate of sea ice melt, which is detrimental to the hydrosphere in general and increases sea level rise. As the surface area of ice decreases and this surface that has extremely high albedo and reflects a lot of solar radiation decreases, the ocean absorbs more thermal energy, increasing thermal expansion and contributing to sea level rise. As ocean levels rise, it puts many coastal communities in danger, as well as their economies and the inhabitants that live there. In fact, in the United States, 40% of inhabitants live on or near coastal areas, leaving these people and infrastructure exposed to increased storm surges, flooding, and coastline erosion. Thus, this mission is vital for both the public health and global economy. Our partners and stakeholders include the European Space Agency, Lockheed Martin, and in terms of stakeholders, the Ocean Cleanup Organization, which is concerned with pollution in the ocean, such as plastics, as well as the FDA, as scientists do not know the true effects that these plastics have on ocean life, as well as drinking water, as these plastics make their way into freshwater systems and can often contaminate drinking water. While our mission doesn't look at these biological effects, the models that we provide will be useful for future scientific studies. Our mission uses instruments such as VIIRS, the Visible Infrared Imaging Radiometer Suite, to monitor plastics, ice surface albedo, rate of sea ice melt, and ocean atmospheric temperatures. We will also utilize the Poseidon Forward Synthetic Aperture Radar Altimeter to measure sea level change as well as surface current velocity. These instruments will ensure that we have the most accurate model possible and do not account for any odd atmospheric events that could contribute to the results we're getting. Furthermore, we will utilize concurrent data from the multispectral instrument aboard the ESA's Sentinel-2 satellite just to validate that our model is accurate. However, it will not be aboard our satellite. If you direct your attention to the upper right corner, you will see our lovely mission patch created by our outreach team. As you can see, the satellite is observing the plastics that are distributed in the ocean, as well as sea ice. You can see the logos of Lockheed Martin and the European Space Agency, as well as NASA, above the PEOPLE acronym. In terms of budget, our original Hydrosphere mission budget was $932.75 million, far over budget for our team and entirely too much for taxpayers. After savings and partnering with the other teams, as well as creating international partners, we have saved millions of dollars to bring down our total Hydrosphere budget to $321.2 million. Next slide, please. This is the picture of our Hydrosphere team, and I'm so proud that I've gotten to work with all of these amazing people this week. This academy has helped me make great friends, and I'm so proud of each and every person on this team. We've truly come so far since day one, and I could not be happier with the final product. I'd like to also thank our intern and master teacher, Aaron and Ms. Hayes, respectively. Without them, we could not have accomplished what we did in this short time. I'd also like to thank the amazing mentors, interns, and staff of the Virginia Space Grant Consortium for helping us this week and for putting this academy together. Your support means so much to each and every one of us, and it is so inspiring to hear from all our mentors and interns each day. You guys have truly inspired us, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity.
Hi, I'm Alana Durin, and I'm the project scientist for Team Lithosphere. Our mission was called Fracking Impacts on Earthquakes, Land Deformation, and Subsidence, otherwise known as fields. I'd like to thank everyone from my team: Lucy, the deputy project scientist; Aram, the research scientist; Natasha, the contamination analyst; Gloria, the budget analyst; Becca, the outreach analyst; Rashad, the launch analyst; Evan, the applied scientist; and Ruben, the calibration validation scientist. Thank you so much for working on this project with me. So the mission overview. Our mission seeks to explore the impacts of fracking on not just the lithosphere, but climate change as a whole. We're doing this through measuring the rate of earthquakes, how close they happen to human settlements, and the magnitude of them, as well as measuring land subsidence or ground sinkage as a result of fracking, as well as sea level rise and the emissions that come from fracking sites. We accomplish NASA's missions and goals through DISCOVER by expanding knowledge of fracking's impacts on the lithosphere, develop as we seek to tackle national challenges relating to the energy and oil industry, and enable through furthering NASA's partnerships with the USGS and Lockheed Martin. Because of the focus on the oil and gas industry, this has the potential to affect legislation, which is where our potential stakeholders come from: Congress. The constituents of these politicians will also affect whether they support the mission or not, which is why outreach is so important. Educating the public on how these issues affect them and how fracking could potentially damage infrastructure or even their own homes is incredibly important and will influence politicians' decisions on whether to support this mission or not. We will outreach to these people through newspapers and educational lessons plans in targeting high schoolers in order to educate them on the impacts of fracking and what it means for the rest of the globe. In order to calculate these measurements on and impacts on the lithosphere, we decided to go with the Poseidon 4 altimeter, which is an INSAR or interferometric synthetic aperture radar, which measures surface elevation and creates a map. Through doing this through different time periods, we can measure the rate of land subsidence and sea level rise. As seen in our mission logo, we focus on the impacts on the ground, how fracking affects the lithosphere, and the potential consequences that could have on human lives. Our budget for the lithosphere mostly went to total power consumption and heat production, as it takes a lot of energy to work to allow the instruments to perform their job. While we started with $767.8 million as our budget, through collaborations with agencies and the other teams, we managed to get it down to $260.9 million. Finally, I want to one final thank you to all of our team members, Cassidy, our intern, and Dr. Evan Fiedler, our master teacher. Thank you so much for working with me, guys. You made this job so much easier, and I want to thank every single one of the mentors providing us guidance throughout our journey on this and working on this mission. Thank you so much. We couldn't have done it without you.
And as you can see, your students attacked real-world issues, and they were successful in how they decided to complete their missions. But again, with all the mentors that were available at their disposal, they gave out their emails. They were willing to help in any way they could. So again, without the support of these people, I don't know if the missions would have been as successful as they were. So thank you. Okay, so at this point, we're going to let our students speak to you a little bit about their reflections on the Academy. Students, I'd like you just to go in alphabetical order as it is on the screen. And then when Nathaniel, when you've finished, Paxton, please speak. Ella and Natasha, thank you so much for doing this.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. I'm Nathaniel Farrell. I was the budget analyst for the Atmosphere Group, and just speaking from the heart, it was a very good program. Like I loved this week. This past week was one of the most transforming, inspirational experiences I've ever had. I got to work with a small group, and it was amazing what we could accomplish with so little time, especially in a virtual environment. This program is very hard with being in person, and so just the fact that we did it, we finished the program and we did it well, and we excelled in roughly 4 days with a virtual environment. It's just so heartwarming, and it's just amazing what we can do. And regardless of what sphere, we're all going places.
Hello everyone, my name is Paxton Calder and I was one of the research scientists for the biosphere. So when Ms. Ruta Kashiri first said that we would have about 90 seconds to discuss how VESS is a very important program, I had the realization that that is not nearly enough time to fully encapsulate how amazing and transformative this experience has been for me personally. But to start, I think the most important part is that VESS is a real confidence builder. About 3 years ago, I had a teacher who would comment on his perception that women can't do science. And just 2 days ago, I met the legend, Dr. Christine Darden. So you can see there's great contrast between those two experiences. And I think I speak for everyone when I say that we had a very valuable realization that even at the high school age range, we can draft a mission statement we can complete a science traceability matrix, we can do a risk and contamination analysis. We can do all of these things, and these roles are no longer out of reach for us. Another pillar that I think VEST really embodies is that there's a place at NASA for all disciplines, and that they all have true importance in accomplishing a mission. Without risk and contamination, for instance, you could have a mission completely fall apart. 1 week ago, I knew nothing about satellite instrumentation, and just yesterday, I presented in great detail the specifics of how we're going to obtain our measurements. I'd also like to note that VEST does lead to other opportunities, and that's a very valuable and special thing. I've been able to secure 2 other science-related internships as a result of my participation in VEST, and that this program really does expand experiences for scholars. And lastly, I just want to give a big thank you to Dr. Hing, who was my master teacher during the course, Ms. C, who was my master teacher during the academy, Ms. Courier for her work throughout this process, and all the hardworking men and women who have made this possible. And just one last big shout out to the Biosphere. It's the best team that I could have ever hoped for. So thank you all.
Hi, my name is Ella Brady, and I'm a member of the Hydrosphere team. The VEST Summer Academy has been an educational, challenging, and inspiring experience for me. I've learned information I never knew before about Earth science, satellite missions, and NASA programs. The Academy has also strengthened my communication, teamwork, writing, and public speaking skills. Even more so, the Academy has contributed to my personal development. At the beginning of the week, I was assigned as one of my team's contamination and risk analysts. I had already reviewed the basic aspects of this position before the academy. However, once the week began, I quickly realized that I was pretty much completely unprepared for the role. Often in the past, whenever I was faced with a situation like this, one that I didn't fully understand, I would avoid it for as long as I could, because I had always assumed that I shouldn't try something new until I understood it perfectly. But the Summer Academy has taught me a new and better way to handle challenges. I've learned that I should face my challenges even if I don't feel prepared. The best way to learn new skills is to place yourself in situations where you have to apply them. And I've also learned that it's okay to need guidance and ask questions. My VEST experience has taught me that my journey will only start once I take the first step. The Summer Academy has given me the opportunity to take that crucial first step and to grow both in knowledge and as a person. I'm so grateful to my teacher, interns, teammates, and everyone who has made this academy possible. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Natasha DeCuna and I served as the Risk and Contamination Analyst for Team Lithosphere. So I'm going to take you a little bit through my journey to maybe fully elucidate what I learned from the VEST Summer Academy. So I'm coming in, I'm interning or doing an interview for Project Scientist, and I'm thinking, I do leadership things, I'm a good communicator, I can do this role. Next thing you know, boom, contamination and risk analyst. I mean, yeah, I'd selected that as my second option, but I didn't really know what the position entailed, and I had never heard of such a job in my life before. I didn't even know such a thing existed in the real world until I was assigned the position. But if there's anything this week has taught me, it's the importance of perseverance, determination, and open-mindedness. Regardless of my position, I knew I had a job to do, and I got down to it. At one point, I felt so overwhelmed with the amount of work for which I was responsible, but the resources provided by the VEST course, the incredibly intelligent interns, and the very helpful mentors certainly expedited this process. And they actually provided a lot of unconsidered insight. And what about those presentations? While we had some great speakers this week, I can say without a doubt the most memorable presentations were those that, in fact, pertain to the explanation of contaminations and risks to NASA's missions, as well as that really cool tour of the ISO 5 clean room. After having referenced that student manual for countless hours, read so many PDFs, a shout out to Triple's text, and investigated relentlessly into contaminations and risks, it was almost surreal to see the work that I had done come to life as it would in the real world. It gave me a taste of what I would be facing should I ever pursue this educational pathway, one I had never prioritized before, nor considered a legitimate possibility before this academy. At the VEST Summer Academy, I found a really desirable career. I found my lithospheric family, and I found the appreciation and satisfaction that accompanies hard work in a field of interest. Lessons to last a lifetime.
Thank you, students. I'm glad you enjoyed your experience here. And now we're going to go to our VEST video.
Welcome, everybody. We're so excited you're here. Congratulations on being invited to the Summer Academy. You guys are the top. You did the best.
I'm going to start asking about, for when you get your job, where you at, and we can.
At the beginning of the program, I'm really shy, closed off, until now, where if I need to ask a question that has already been answered 5,000 times, I can ask it and feel confident enough to ask the question, even though I know it's been answered a couple of times. Just being able to collaborate with people that I met less than a week ago and grow that bond really quickly because we all had shared interests and experiences. I've learned a lot from that.
My favorite one was the hangar presentation because I thought it was just interesting to see all of the different planes and instruments that they have. And yeah, it was just interesting to see the facility. One thing that I found really interesting was I don't know too much about planes and different vehicles and such, but I was amazed by how many different types they had in there.
I thought it was super interesting. It was really insightful, especially for my position. I think it was really helpful, especially for this time where we're getting close to the final presentation. And it really helped me to round out and finalize a lot of my calibration and validation plans. And yeah, it was really a very interesting and very interactive presentation, I thought.
Probably Dr. Gardens, just because it was so interesting following her path from her childhood all the way to where she is now. And it was really nice to just see how she can go from that far. It's really inspiring just how far she came.
I think programs like VEST are important, especially to high school students, because it gives us, the high school students, that hands-on experience that we really do lack for those who want to do future careers or future studies in STEM. I know that for me personally, I want to be an aerospace engineer and I still want to be an aerospace engineer, but I can't say that I would continue wanting to do that and pursue that if I didn't have an experience like this. I feel like for me personally, hands-on experiences are really important into making that firm decision that that's what I want to do and that's what I'm going to pursue regardless of how hard it is. And programs like VEST really just real hardcore experience. We're creating this hypothetical NASA mission, but all of the elements are very real. The stress is real, the certain components being high maintenance over others, the collaboration with people with different expertise, it's all very real. And so it just gives us high school students the experience of what we want to do in the future. I think it's important for everyone to have a program like this or try to find a program like this, especially if they want to do STEM.
The biggest things you often have to do in something is to keep trying. You have to persist. You have to keep working at what you want. Don't quit.
Great job, scholars. Great presentations. And I think the video really shows a lot about your experience this week. And we hope that'll be a good souvenir for you of your week with Bess. So we're pleased that Virginia's Deputy Secretary of Education, Fran Bradford, could be with us today. Fran has been a huge supporter of our program, and she was instrumental in securing funding to keep this program going. So we're really grateful for that. And Fran wanted to offer some congratulatory remarks to our students. Fran?
Great, Mary, thank you. And good morning to everybody. I really am excited to be here with you this morning. And I bring greetings on behalf of the Secretary and the Governor, and also their congratulations on your great work. As Mary knows, I look forward to this event every year. This program is one of the best that Virginia has to offer, recognizing the value of exposing students from all backgrounds and across Virginia to STEM-related activities and careers. And there's no better program to do that than the VEST program, which, as you all know, was the recipient of the 2019 Programs That Work Award from the Virginia Math and Science Coalition, which I think says a lot about this program and the work that Mary and her team does. This has been a really exciting hour, and I'm really grateful to have gotten to hear all about the missions. I'm especially pleased to share this virtual stage with some esteemed guests. We heard from Delegate Carr earlier, and I saw Delegate Batten on a little bit ago, and Congressman Whitman, all of whom are true champions of STEM education. I would like to thank the entire NASA team, one of my favorite places to visit, and to Mary and her team at the Virginia Space Grant. Thanks to our education and private sector partners. We couldn't do it without you. It is also not possible to do this without the master teachers, mentors, and interns that you all heard about earlier. They've given a lot of time and energy to making this program a success, and I know that you all appreciate their efforts. But a special congratulations and thanks to the families supporting the VEST scholars. We know that without you, these scholars would not be here, would not have been able to have such a great experience. And finally, and most importantly, congratulations to the scholars themselves who completed a really challenging experience. And we heard a little bit about that just a few minutes ago from some of the scholars themselves, and also under some unusual circumstances. I was really excited to hear about the results in the areas of atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. And some of the titles that you all have were like super cool. Now I want to be a launch specialist. I don't have any idea what a launch specialist is, but that sounded super cool. And as you discovered, planning the mission was not easy, but your exposure to these amazing STEM concepts and how they interact with each other will serve you well. And while we have not been able to have this event in person, the fact is it in itself an important reminder of the need for constant innovation in education, in science, and in life. And you as VEST scholars are in a great position to continue innovating. So know that this is just the first of many amazing steps you will each take in your journey. And again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Fran. We really appreciate your being here. Next, we will have video remarks from Congressman Whitman, who couldn't join us today, but he wanted to send remarks for the students.
Well, hello, scholars. I want to thank the Virginia Space Grant Consortium for all that you do with our Earth System Science scholars. Great accomplishment that you have had in the virtual learning realm. It's amazing the things that you're able to learn through this Space Grant Consortium and NASA Langley program. I've been there to NASA Langley to visit and see firsthand the work that you do in the earth sciences realm. Very, very, very impressive. I myself am a scientist, a biologist by training, so what you do in the earth sciences realm, I think, is incredibly important, not only for your educational path, but remember the things that you do there do have an impact in addition to the scientific body of knowledge. That is incredibly important as we pursue science to find ways to solve the challenges and problems that we face as a planet. So I appreciate what you do. I want to encourage you to continue that effort. I know that for some of you, the Summer Science Academy is coming up. That's another exciting experience there at NASA Langley. I want to thank the Virginia Space Grant Consortium for their efforts and their efforts jointly with NASA Langley in providing these opportunities for each of you. So again, thanks for all your hard work. I know that you will use this in many different ways in the years to come to not only contribute to the scientific body of knowledge, but to make things better within our Commonwealth and across our nation. So thanks again. I wish each of you God's blessings. May God bless our great Commonwealth of Virginia. May God bless our United States of America. Well, hello.
Okay, so Kevin, do you have any closing remarks you might like to make?
So, Mary, and to the VEST scholars, I would just like to offer my final congratulations. Amazing week and amazing work from each of the teams. I'm very excited about what you've accomplished. I hope that you've benefited as much from participating in this as we've benefited from having you participate. And I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Everyone, it's just been a great to hear from all of the scholars about the wonderful work they've accomplished this week. So this concludes our program, and the scholars are going to return to their virtual teams to take leave of each other. Scholars, I know you will all be making a difference in our world as you move into your chosen careers, and parents, you can all be very proud. Thank you.
Congratulations, scholars.